Hey, it's the crunch, yo. You see, it's raining cats and dogs, or flicking, I don't know what to call it, hogs and pigs, or some kind of, but yeah, I know. But it's raining really hard here now. Throwing on my raincoat now to get out there to try and get this water in this store. Hopefully they're gonna take it. I see the competition then pull up right behind me. Hopefully they can tell them no, like a good girl's supposed to do. Which brings me to this particular topic. You know, people like in the Bahamas, especially the islands, maybe it's an island thing. I don't know if they do it stateside or anywhere else. But since there's a rainy spot, they got like a cultural joke, I guess you could say. People like when it rains so they can stay inside and have sex, or like how we say over here, grind. I know all US people over there and other places like to say fuck. I wasn't necessarily privileged enough to be free with my tongue like that to develop that type of regular, I guess you could say, cussing type of lingo. But I like grind. The activity too. There's something for y'all young guys out there, or younger guys out there, trying to figure out y'all dick and stuff. I guess you could say this is a sort of jokey joke moment. Don't consider me the flicking pussy whisperer or something like that, but I have kind of dabbled with a few girls in my life. I'm married yet, so I guess I ain't got all the answers as yet. Or maybe my mission ain't completed, something. But I did learn some things. From other people and from experience. I ain't gonna call no names or label or throw nothing out there. But if y'all trying to figure out what to do, how to get a girl, how to keep a girl, and all them kind of things. First of all, a knock on the door is like a girl showing you attention, technically. They call it a knock. They looking at you, they interested. What you do after that, if you like them, is what matters the most. When it comes down to everything else, you could be as nice as you want, all kind of activity type of stuff and everything, but when it comes to sexual activity, y'all realize women got feelings. Now, some people got different tactics and cultures and stuff like that. They like to herd girls and bounce them around and, try and play ping pong or whatever else with them, try and see if they could keep them just to have them just to say they have something to do. Some of them don't come across nice ones all the time, so they try and use the little tactics and stuff like that to try and, keep them around. That ain't necessarily a good thing. God ain't necessarily probably going to bless you or that relationship, and somebody going to end up getting hurt some kind of how, probably somewhere down the line. Lose money and this, that, and the next thing. You don't want that kind of thing. So, you don't want to be one of them guys when you actually find a girl that you actually like. Nice girl, whatever it is who you decide you actually like. I ain't going to say it's the trick to keeping them, but like I said, I ain't married, so maybe I don't have all that, those particular answers. Or I ain't supposed to give y'all all the answers. Life's supposed to still be some kind of roller coaster for those y'all who don't want to know everything. I ain't going to tell you everything. But the little trick, I guess you could say, you learn if you got someone that you like, or that you like, you mess with them, and then you come to find out that you don't necessarily like them no much, don't string them along. It's like, why build a flicking whole house if you don't plan to be in there? In other words, if she liked loving, well, you could kind of gauge it according to what you want. Don't string her along, like I said. If you feel she might not be the one, or you interested in somebody else, don't hurt the feelings. You might flicking never know if you get one of them thin line between love and hate type of chicks, them rabbit boilers. You don't want to fuck with them. But if you do find someone, like Grandpa used to say, he's a construction type of man. First thing you gotta do, if you building a house, you getting a girl, and you actually know you want to keep her, you don't have to put up no little flicking tent or nothing like that. Get the flicking drilling. I mean, like, drill it like you actually ain't want to go nowhere but work and home. In other words, foundation. Now, if you just messing around, like I said, don't flicking lay down, no foundation, have no girl dragging around behind you and all them kind of things, causing problems for your new relationships and all them kind of stuff. That's not the way to do it. Not everybody gets these little tricks and stuff like that, so they end up in little problems and all them kind of things sometimes. But since I kind of figured out at least that much, like I say, I probably ain't got all the answers, but I got a few. If you gotta get rid of them, and what you got them hooked on is loving, dick, grinding. Grind them bad. And eventually, hopefully they'll saunter off into, I guess, what they may feel are greener pastures. You don't need to care about what happens after that if you didn't want it. But the main thing is, you done got the rabbit boiler off your tail, if that's what she was. And now you can probably proceed with your future, whoever's you happens to be around or want to be around. And don't get it twisted. Some of these girls know that too. And they have that exact same game. They ain't going to give you, throw everything in the ring. When you get in the ring, with people, I guess you should probably say married, it's all or whatever you make of it. But as a man, you don't go head over flicking heels and over. You got to be flicking grounded. That's why you got to be like the actual rock. There has to be, you have to have a solid foundation so you don't go all haywire if things get flicking bad. Now, the trick is, whilst you grounded, you do not have to actually let them know, in other words, that you are the rock or you grounded. You ain't got to be all beating up your chick and all them kind of stuff. Whatever else going on the outside, for all you know, in case things haywire, you strong enough in your mind to know that shit happens. Has happened, can still happen. The best you could actually do is all you could do. If that ain't enough, at some point you got to be strong enough to accept that, hey, sometimes you tried your best. Maybe you wasn't supposed to stick around. Who knows? But you do not want to actually go in there all head over heels and end up like these flicking dudes on the papers going haywire. Dude, a couple of years ago, ran over his flicking girl in the flicking street holding her child. Baby and everything. And we still ain't hear the full story about what that happened. That ain't what you want to be in life. I don't know what happened, but whatever it had to end, that ain't what you want to be. So make sure you stay grounded. And remember, they don't need to know that you grounded. As long as you treating them right, some of them, they don't need to know the difference. All they know is they happy enough to, whatever it is whatever it is. If you all in, if you in enough, and doing what you're supposed to do, some of them, that's really all that matters. They happy as, they say, happy as a lark. I know, maybe Log Voorhees, I don't know, she always seemed to be happy for some reason. Every time you see her on TV, you could just about see all her back teeth and everything, how much she liked to smile. And you could look at her and see she probably got some reasons, a lot of reasons why she got a smile. There's somebody in there got that foundation, I guess. I don't know, but that's a little carpentry message for y'all, I guess, out there. I ain't been building nothing for a little while. Like I said, I ain't really dated nobody technically since like 2004. At least not in this country. And technically really not since like 2008 or 9 since I messed around with anybody like at all. So, like I say, maybe I still got some stuff to figure out. Yeah. I ain't look this young for no reason. It's 48 right now. Don't mind the sleeplessness. That'll have you looking older and all kind of things. But as soon as you actually get to sleeping back to properly, you get to back to looking like how God wants you to look. Maybe it wasn't nothing around there God wanted me to mess with. So, like I say, you ain't had me put down no solid foundation as of yet. This is the other thing. If you're just out there trying to figure out what to do, sometimes you might do a little bit too much and necessarily not know it, just from literally not knowing. But once you know, you're kind of responsible for how you use your whatever you use. You don't want to be one of those ones who decide to say, oh, pass around a bunch of, nice girls around a bunch of dudes who ain't know what the hell they doing. And have the girls flicking guessing if they supposed to be flicking with men or not. You ain't trying to turn them gay. If you gotta grind them bad or if you can't grind them good, but find someone who you could grind good. Or who like you or whatever. I don't know, but they don't flicking try and mess up everything for. Like I'll say, people be fattening frog for snake. If it ain't yours, realize it ain't yours. Just move through. Some might fit. Some might not fit, and some you probably can't even get in. Don't let the devil trick you into thinking you ain't supposed to try. Which has happened to a lot of people. Oh, it's too big, it's too small. If everybody were the same size shoe, how exciting you think your life would be? Would you even notice that it was be strange or boring or different? The point is, you gotta try on stuff to know what you like. We got on clothes nowadays. Remember, God was mad at the beginning when they flicking first invented clothes. Everybody was supposed to be able to walk through like a flicking store and pick out their size and shape or whatever else and everything else. It ain't like that now, so you gotta ask questions and run some tests. You know, the devil's a scientist now, got everybody trying to figure some shit out. But that's just how life is. Anyhow, that's one from the crunch. Let me go to see if I can get these people water inside the store right quick before people start standing up outside with their mouth open drinking water instead of buying it. Be right back. Or be back on later at some point. Crunch out. You know, you gotta smile sometimes. If life ain't exciting where you actually have to smile, you got muscles in your face too before you start looking drab and stuff like that. Fake a smile. You know, you gotta crank up them face cheeks sometimes so you could actually look how you're supposed to look instead of people thinking you're some kind of looking droopy dog or something. Later.